Coming up on the Raiders Report, are the Oakland Raiders targeting Noah Fant since Jared Cook is taking his talents elsewhere? Next one then, does Mike Mayock want Montez Sweat despite knowing about his heart condition? And last on the Raiders Report, does Jon Gruden love quarterback Drew Lock enough to draft him in the first round of the 2019 NFL Draft? All coming up on the Raiders Report. Hey, Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, brought to you by BetDSI, and I'm your host, Mitchell Renz. Interact with me on IG and Twitter, at MitchellRenz365, and make sure you guys subscribe to the #1 Raiders channel on YouTube below, youtube.com/Raiders Report. It's been a while, hasn't it? So let's get into some rumors, shall we? Raiders sign Mike Glennon. 4 Chucky heads, believe it, baby. Not much of a rumor. This one's 100% news. A 1-year deal for $2 million to maybe one of the ugliest people I've ever seen in the NFL. Played 2 games last year for the Arizona Cardinals. And when you look at his career stats, 35 touchdowns, 20 interceptions. Somebody actually at one time paid Mike Glennon to be a franchise quarterback. Luckily for us, he's going to be a backup to Derek Carr, but he's going to have to battle with another quarterback who I have no idea how he's still even on a roster, Nathan Peterman. Derek Carr, 2019 prove-it year, because if it's not you, we got to trust one of those other 2 guys. So, Derek, please, my man. My next then, what else we got coming up here? We got full screen of a Daryl Anderson. Holy super chat Batman. Daryl, when I saw you drop $100, I literally dropped something and you know where. So this is the rumor that you want me to give. Tomorrow, I'm going to come in on my off day on Sunday, and I'm going to give you your own Raiders Report for Chucky Heads. Believe it, baby. Speaking of 4 Chucky Heads, believe it, baby. Curtis Riley signs with the Oakland Raiders, 4 Chucky Heads. Believe it, baby. This is a good addition to the Raiders' defense. Safety is currently in need. You guys know that I like Carl Joseph. Sure, he struggled a little bit in 2016 as a rookie, but really emerged in 2017, 2018. Now, you pair Curtis Riley in the secondary with him and Lamarcus Joyner. The other great thing about Curtis Riley and Joyner, they can both play multiple positions, and we know how much Jon Gruden loves to be able to find a player who he can plug and play in multiple positions. Just saying, for me personally, I really like the Curtis Riley signing. So I'm going to talk about Mike Glennon and Riley. But you guys know this show, not about me, it's about the nation. So I want you to type G for Glennon, type R for Riley. Better signing. Which one do you like? I'm typing my R for Riley. I want to give a shout out to today's sponsor, BetDSI, for hooking us up with the best promo code on the internet. It's at Raiders120. If you're new to the show, what does it mean? If you want to put down $50, you can get $60 for free at chatsports.com/bet. My bracket of March Madness has been absolutely terrible, so maybe you guys should have bet against me at our tournament giveaway, chatsports.com/bet. Brag to me on Instagram and Twitter that you're doing a lot better than me at MitchellRenz365. A little bit more news coming at you. Jared Cook to the Saints. Now, it's not, the dotted line hasn't been signed yet, but this one's for Chucky Heads. Jared Cook's going to the Saints. He hinted at it last week that he was going to be signing with New Orleans, and if you follow me on Twitter, and if you don't, get with the program, I said that I have a gut feeling that Jared Cook's going to the Saints. He met with them on last Monday. He is 32 years old. I get that he led the Raiders with 896 receiving yards. But at the end of the day, Jared, I'm not ultimately surprised because the dude wants a lot more money than what the Raiders have. Now, you're seeing 4 Chucky Heads on the screen. Those are all Believe It babies. So if you're new to the show, I wanted you to understand my Chucky Head rumor explainer. 0 Chucky Heads, tuck rule, tuck that. This rumor, not going to happen. 1 Chucky Head is a small shred of truth. I like to think 25% chance of happening. 2 Chucky Heads, people are talking 50-50. 3 Chucky Heads, this rumor is pretty likely 75% chance of happening. And as you saw, 4 Chucky Heads, believe it, baby. So I'm not going to give this one 4 Chucky Heads because the Raiders, they are interested in him and they are targeting him. But is he going to be a Raider? This one's 3 Chucky Heads. People are not talking. It's pretty likely. Don't even know my own rumor scale. Pretty embarrassing. All right. Noah Fant. Why do I like Noah Fant? Well, first off, he looks like an absolute bookworm. But because Jared Cook's leaving, this is going to leave a huge need for the Raiders. He is a classic athletic move tight end. I've heard some comparisons to Evan Ingram. But we also know that Derek Carr loves himself a nice tight end. I mean, Derek, you and I are both on the same page. I mean, I love myself a good tight end in the gym and on the football field. When you look at the NFL Combine, though, it was pretty impressive. I mean, 39.5-inch vert for a tight end, really impressive. But that 3-cone drill, 6.81. We talk a lot about who's the monster receiver out of Ole Miss that has just absolutely escaped me right now. DK Metcalf. Good thing I do this show. He had a 7.38 cone drill. That's how much better Noah Fant is in terms of just running the cone drill, which is good for route running, which is really important, okay? 6'4", 249. I want me some Noah Fant because he is my number 2 tight end in terms of top tight ends in the 2019 draft. Hockenson is the better all-around tight end. He can get his hand in the dirt. He can play dirty. He can block. On the other hand, though, when I look at Fant, if you guys like fantasy football, number 1 tight end in the draft in fantasy football leagues. So, better fit for the Raiders. I hear a lot of y'all always blow me up on IG and Twitter. Marquise Hollywood Brown. We should bring him over so he can join his cousin Antonio Brown. So I want to know from everybody watching, okay? Noah Fant or Hollywood Brown. Which type F for Fant, type B for Brown. If you want to know what I think, hit me up at Mitchell Renz 365. So I don't know if you guys know this or follow me all that closely, but I started the show with Spartan. Go check it out at Spartan Race. What city do you live in, and would you run a Spartan race with me? Okay, so I want you to comment below. What city do you live in, and would you run a Spartan race with me? And I put this on our IG channel, our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Raiders Report. And I said, for every people who respond to it, I'm going to give you a shout-out. So Matthew says he lives in Denver, Colorado. Matthew, if there's ever a Spartan race in Colorado, would you run it with me? Yes or no? Arnold, Syphilis or Math, I have no idea what your last name is. Pittsburgh, Arnold, if you want to run a Spartan race with me, get at your boy. Dead Raider, my man. He says he lives in Hayes, Kansas. How many shows you got, Mitchell? I believe it's going to be 12 shows. I've already done 2. Go check them out on IG and Twitter at Spartan Race. Keep up the good work, Dead Raider. You know I will. Tony, what's up, my man? Baby Carlos, love the picture. Phoenix, Arizona, and yes, I would. Never did one before, but it looks like fun. Raider Nation for life. If there is a Spartan Race in Oakland or in the new Vegas Stadium, for Chucky Heads, believe it, baby. I'm going there, and y'all better join me. Also, y'all better subscribe to the #1 Raiders channel on YouTube, youtube.com/Raiders Report. I know I've been kind of, we'll say, off the chain a little bit here, but I've been pumping out a lot of content here at Chat Sports. I promise you, I'm going to get back on the ball. Going to have a lot of videos. And also, remember, mark in your calendar, April 2nd, 84 beers in 6 minutes. Believe it, baby. Also giving away an Antonio Brown jersey. Montez Sweat, are the Raiders still interested in him? This one's 3 Chucky Heads, pretty likely, and they should be. Now, there are some rumors and there are some news out that came out about Montez Sweat and a heart condition. Here's the thing, though, guys. I understand that Maurice Hurst dropped from 1st round to 5th round last year. It's different with Montez Sweat because the doctors cleared him. We knew he had a little bit of a heart condition. He still absolutely crushed the combine, and he still is one of the best defenders in this year's draft. Plus, he played at the Senior Bowl, and we've heard Mike Mayock, we've heard Jon Gruden say that they love working with players at the Senior Bowl because you can see them. Mike Mayock calls the combine the Underwear Olympics. You don't win in the Underwear Olympics. If you did, I might actually be an NFL player. No, I kid. But when you look at Montez Sweat on the field, Mike Mayock and Jon Gruden really like what they get out of Sweat. And if teams are going to be worried about a heart condition, it's okay, because if Sweat drops to the Raiders at 24, man, I'd be sweating, just absolutely hoping that they pick him. Should the Raiders be worried about Sweat's heart condition? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I think you already know my answer. I'm going to type my N for no. I want to give a shout out to today's sponsor, BetDSI. If you want to bet on NFL games, March Madness, the one place to do it. It's at the internet's #1 sportsbook. It's at BetDSI. And if you're going to do it, you might as well use my promo code to get some free money. Raiders 120. Put down $100, get $120 for free. Chatsports.com/bet for any single person that puts down a bet on BetDSI. Slide in my DMs below. I'll give you a shout out because I definitely would appreciate it. My last rumor, Drew Lock to the Oakland Raiders. One Chucky Head, small shred of truth. Like, I don't understand these people who come out and they say that the Raiders are going to go out and draft Drew Lock at number 4 overall. So, I mean, you know who you are, SI. I mean, it's an absolute joke to me because the thing that I don't get is if you're going to move on from Derek Carr, Drew Lock has been compared to Derek Carr. So if you don't like Derek Carr, why would you draft a quarterback very similar to Derek Carr? It makes absolutely no sense to me, and I think Drew Lock is a talented quarterback, and when you look at his production the last 2 years in the SEC, and there's a lot of SEC haters out there, but guess what? It's the closest thing to the NFL, whether you want to believe it or not. Drew Lock is a good quarterback. Taking him 4th overall over Dwayne Haskins and Kyler Murray would be absolutely just ridiculous to me, and just because there's people saying that the Raiders are interested in him or because Jon Gruden likes him, I like Drew Lock too. Would never touch him at number 4, and I would hope the Raiders do not draft Drew Lock in the 1st round. So how many Chucky heads, okay? I give out my Chucky heads, and if you need to understand my Raiders rumor scale, rewind a little bit. You can check out my rumor explainer. How many Chucky heads for the Raiders drafting Drew Lock in the 2019 NFL Draft? I want you to comment below. Hit me up on IG or Twitter at MitchellRenz365, and make sure you guys subscribe at youtube.com/RaidersReport. Raider Nation, what's going on? Is this the #1 Raiders channel on YouTube? For Chucky heads, believe it, baby. And if you haven't already, subscribe right here. I'm giving you Chucky heads, news, rumors, Raider Nation rumors. And look at this, I'm making your life easier. Check out my next video. Thanks for watching, and go Raiders.